What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Acts of Creation. Today we're going to be talking some time signatures, and we're going to be looking at a riff that's in 6/4, and on top of that we're going to put a melody or melodic idea that's in 5/8, so we'll examine how they can work together. But before we get started, I'm playing my Schecter 7-string, standard tuning. Now for the riff, if you don't have a 7-string, it doesn't matter, just play the same frets and you can still play along. I'm also running through the Line 6 HD Pro, and before that I'm actually running through a Dead Horse Overdrive from Pochone Pedals to really help drive and add a lot of clarity to the sound. So let's listen to the whole thing and then we'll get back and we'll examine it. So, like I said, the main riff is pretty simple, nothing too technically challenging, it's very straightforward. It is in 6/4, let me play it for you. That was it twice. So the main riff is just that one measure of 6/4 and it just repeats throughout, and we're going to layer the melody on top of it. Now, when you talk about 6/4, it's nothing special, it's not very complicated, you're just adding 2 more beats to 4/4. And when you do this kind of stuff, you want to avoid coming up with a riff that's in 3/4, just repeated twice, because then you get a downbeat feel of every 3, and that's not what we're looking for. So when we write riffs like this, we want our phrase to go 6 beats. And with this riff, the way I do that is when I reach beat 4 in this riff, I play notes on the upbeat of 4 and 5, and those notes are tied over. So I'm tying over to 5 and then I'm tying over to 6. And it really helps just elongate the phrase, and it doesn't feel odd in any sense, it just helps go through the whole thing. You can really hear how it goes all the way to 6, and you don't feel like you're landing on 3 in the middle and just repeating it. So like I said, it's a very simple, straightforward riff. I'm playing my low B, and then playing the octave of the 7th fret on your A string, and then I'm doing a little 3/03 on the low string, and I'm muting that, and then I'm doing a little slide up to the 5th fret, so essentially I'm just outlining a power chord. So we have an octave and a power chord, again, very stable sounding. And then I'm stepping up 3, 5. Again, very straightforward riff. Harmonically speaking, it's not doing a whole lot. Very simple. I just wanted to show you a good riff that feels great in 6/4. So, as I said before, we're going to add in a melody that's in 5/8 on top of this and see how that works. Now, the little melodic idea is this. It's up on the 7th fret on your high string, 7 and 8, and then I'm playing 10, and then 7, 8 on your B string. Now the riff itself, or the melody itself, is now that's the whole phrase, the whole idea, and then you can see I'm playing the, and I'm adding rests in there, and that's my count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Pretty simple enough, and it sounds really good as a counter melody over the riff. And I put the 10, 7, 8 over it just to give it a little turnaround. And now we're in 6/4. So a measure of 6/4 has 12 eighth notes in it. Now 5/8, if you double it, that's 10 eighth notes. Obviously, it's not going to add up. So what I do like about this over the 6/4 is that when you cross the bar line into the second measure of the riff, when the second repeat of the riff comes along, you're in the middle of your melody, so it's not on the downbeat. Now, 2 measures of 12 of 6/4 is 24 eighth notes. And again, the 5/8 doesn't add up. So I don't keep it going, I just do a little manipulation, if you will, on the riff to turn it around so this when the riff repeats itself, I land back on 1 again. So it's not a straight 5/8 polymeter all the way through. I chop it up and I make it fit, but it does work over the 2 measures of 6/4. And as you might have heard in the example, I start changing, I start chugging around. I'm not going to get into that, that's just the transition to how the song works. But what I do is I drop it down to 5/4 and just start doing some chugs, and when we're in 5/4, that measure of 5/8, 5/8 doubled is 10/8, that's 10/8 notes, that's 5/4. So it fits right up with the bar lines. So let's listen to it again before we head out, so you can get a feel for the whole thing. And as always, I hope you can apply these concepts to your own riffs and your own writing. You know, let me know what you come up with. If you need the transcription for this lesson, it's on my site. The link will be down below, as well as the link to Addison Kurt, who supplied the drum beats for this, phenomenal drummer. He'll probably be in the video response and probably up here somewhere when the editing is complete. As always, let me know what you come up with, and until then, I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.